So, Josh, do we need to increase the associate minister's pay so you can buy jeans that don't have the knees ripped out?
I wouldn't mind, so I can buy some more ripped jeans. They cost about the same price, actually. These are rollers. These are a new one. It's actually a tag on these jeans that say, I noticed before I washed them, it says wear for as long as possible before first wash.
Ooh.
That's weird. Never heard a pair of jeans say that.
How long have you worn them now?
A couple of weeks. Not every day.
Haven't washed them?
Haven't washed them yet,
Okay.
no. You got to be careful with ripped jeans too. If you put your leg in too quickly, you hit the hole and it makes the hole bigger. So you got to be really careful during that. But welcome to another week of Pastor's Chat with Coley and Tonks.
Yeah.
We're excited you joined us. Did you watch any recommendations? I saw in the comments we got some recommendations for Netflix shows to watch.
Yes.
Yeah. There was one, Chuck was one that I have watched a little bit of before. Highly recommend. And The Office was in there. A lot of Office fans.
I tried
US
watching
Office.
The American Office last week. Josh, my son tried to get us to watch it and I couldn't do it.
Don't start with season one. It's a terrible season.
Well, that's where we started. I got into about, the second episode. I thought, no, cannot do it. Back to Ricky Gervais every time.
Yeah, no, it's good, The American. You fall in love with the characters eventually. But this week, we're looking at apps instead of Netflix. So what apps do you use? Apps pretty much dominate our life. But we're not just looking at any apps, we're looking at faith-based apps or apps that can help your family or your faith.
Yeah.
So what have you got for us?
Well, I got a few apps, but last week I got a message on my iPad that told me that my screen time had gone up 3 hours higher than the week before. So I must be using quite a few apps, although Chloe's using it a bit for schooling, but
I'm
certainly
that's probably expected, I suppose.
Yeah, but I am using a number of different apps, things to encourage me, things to grow, things to equip me, help with ministry and inspiration. So the first one to share now, I have promoted this a lot at church. We've promoted it for a good few years. Lots of people in church have been invited. I don't know how many are exactly using it on a regular basis, but it is the Right Now Media app.
Yeah, it's a great app.
Right Now Media is promoted as being kind of like the Christian Netflix. It contains at the moment close to 20,000 videos of sermons, Bible studies, and they cover a huge range of topics. There's things on marriage, leadership, parenting, communication, finances, self-improvement, just so many different topics from some incredible preachers.
They've got great Bible studies too, like Louis Giglio did one that we did for Colossians. We did that Bible study and we had a great 5 weeks.
Almost every book of the Bible, lots of topics through the Bible.
Yeah, if you run a small group, really good. If you want to run a small group or just host some people and watch it,
absolutely.
Your family maybe, so many great resources there.
And I know a number of our young families are loving Right Now Media because it also contains around 1,500 children's videos. So there's a whole separate children's section with faith-based kids programs.
That's it. Why would you watch Bluey when you can watch that?
Exactly. Well, there's VeggieTales, 3 to 1 Penguins, and a favourite of my kids when they were little, Bible Man.
Is the Donut Man there?
Do you
remember Donut Man? Had the talking donut? Oh, I'll have to find a bit of footage to chuck in there. That was one of my favourites as a kid. Donut Man and McGee and Me.
Yeah,
great Christian
Now, Right Now
shows.
Media, it's free. The church actually pays the subscription fee every month for that.
Church.
And everybody in the church, every member of the Mildura Church of Christ gets free access to that. So if you are not yet on Right Now Media, all you have to do is to email me or message me with your email address so then I can add that into the invitation list and you'll be then invited to be a part of Right Now Media.
Fantastic. That'd be great.
What do you got, Josh?
So I've got the first one that I'm sharing is the Youversion Bible app. So obvious one to help you with. I remember when this came out, though, I was pretty skeptical. Like, why do we need a Bible on our phone? You can get notifications, you can get things that distract you from reading the Bible. But over time, and the way I've seen other people adapt to it, I think it's fantastic because you can have the Bible so accessible. You can have insane number of versions of the Bible, which helps me when I'm doing different sermons and I want to just see how different translations do it without having to grab another Bible out. I never use a concordance anymore because they've got built-in concordances. You can just look up topics. But it's even got reading plans in it. So you can look up just about any topic and you can look up all the different types of stuff. So if you want to look up joy, grief, worry, depression, doubt, or sharing your faith, it's just
and you can link them with a friend, can't you? And read it along together as a bit of an accountability.
One of the things we've been doing for youth group is we've made a public list and it matches our devotions. And if the kids want to jump on, they can, and we can see. And Now it's even got a prayer feature, and you can share your prayer points on it as well.
Okay, I haven't seen that bit.
There's so many features that are becoming new on it, so I just highly recommend it. I was once skeptical, but now I think it's just fantastic, and it's free. And Bibles are getting pretty expensive if you want a good Bible.
Oh,
nowadays.
I went to try to find a Bible recently, and any decent Bible, and it's one version, like an NIV or something, it's $50, $60.
It's crazy.
So you get a free app with all the extras.
Exactly, and you can put notes in it, you can share it, you can make a verse. It's just fantastic. So highly recommend that one. Youversion Bible app. If you just type Bible into the App Store, it's usually the one on top.
Yeah. I think it's one of the most downloaded apps
It is.
of all.
It's incredible.
Millions of downloads.
Yeah. It's
Phenomenal.
just really exciting app, that one.
Well, connected to the Youversion Bible app, my next recommendation, and this is particularly for those of you with young children, and again, we've been promoting this a little bit through our Facebook groups and other things, but that is the Bible for Kids.
Great.
Now, I thought this was brand new because I got a link about it a couple of months ago, so I just thought it was only just recently released, but after talking with John and Sam Armstrong, they've actually downloaded them and using it for at least a couple of years now. But I wish I had this when my kids were little, because we used to play a lot of games on the computer, these little interactive ones where you'd click the mouse on a ball and the ball would bounce around, or you'd click it on the dog and the dog would run around on the screen. And they'd play those kind of games and laugh and have lots of fun exploring that kind of thing. Well, that's kind of like what the Bible for Kids app is like.
It's fully interactive, isn't it?
It's fully interactive, so it can read to you and you can read along with some of the most popular Bible stories, creation, Noah, David, and so on. But each story then has these fully interactive screens, and some are quite funny, make you laugh, really entertain the kids. But then it acts almost like a game. So the more they interact and the more they find little clues in each of the screens, it unlocks other levels, unlocks other stories. They can win trophies and points and things, and that keeps you going. So it keeps the kids' interest in reading further and further into their children's Bible, and great art, great pictures. I was really, really impressed with how good, and like Youversion again, completely free.
Yeah, it's a great app. It's just we'll want to utilise it at kids programs because it's just so easy to tell the Bible story in an engaging way.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. While we're on the kids one, this one's not a faith-based app, but I wanted to look at a couple of apps that will help families, that will help young people, because I'm the youth pastor at the church and help with a lot of the family stuff. And this one's called Messenger Kids, which has just come out. Everybody's got it just about nowadays. It's linked with Facebook, just the Messenger, Facebook Messenger, and it makes that annoying ding, and it rules your life nowadays, unfortunately, because you've got to be in contact with people and you get sick of those notifications. But there's now a kids version, and the ability of this kids one, that links it with your parents' account, so parents can see every message that kids are sending. They can restrict it. They can restrict who they're talking to. It's just got all of these great features that in the past, when some kids may have needed to connect with different friends or different people, now they can do that in an accountable way.
And that's the key, isn't it? Accountability for our kids online. We're always worried that the supposed 12-year-old friend they're chatting with is some 40-year-old man living in their mother's basement or something. So to have really good, clear accountability for what our kids are doing online is so important.
That's right. Now the kids have to use it for school, particularly so much with online school and just Adventure Club and things like that. There's ways to know that your kids are doing it safely, and you can see everything that they're doing. So I think it's just great that Facebook's finally released this. And so Messenger Kids, that one is.
Excellent. Well, I've got one more, and this is an app that is shared by a lot of churches, or they've got a very, very similar app. They've used the same kind of app builder to construct their own app. And the one that I use a lot is the Cascade Hills Church app. Obviously with Bill Purvis being my mentor and so on, I use this a lot. But it's also Andy Stanley of North Point.
North Point's got one.
And Craig Rochelle at Life Church use an almost identical kind of app. And what I love about it is you bring up the app and you'll see that it's got a lot of options within there, and you can go into what I use a lot, the sermon time. So they upload every week their Sunday services. Sometimes it's a mix of the full service with all their worship. Sometimes it's just their sermon. But I know with the Cascade Hills app and with Rochelle as well, is they've got a huge back catalogue of all their sermon series. They go back 3 or 4 years or so.
Isn't it?
So you've got access to some amazing content. There's also heaps of their youth and their kids and their preschool kids content as well. So you can check out a little bit like with our Adventure Kids program that we're uploading each week. You can see what other churches are doing. And again, for your kids, for your teenagers, you can jump in there with youth-based sermons, children content, and all that one secure app that's so easy to do. I connect my iPad to my TV and just stream it, sit back on the couch and watch it straight on the TV. So it absolutely brilliant app.
Yeah, that's great. I should recommend while we're talking about these, particularly Right Now Media, that one there, getting a Chromecast or an Apple TV if you're not familiar with those technologies. I'll put a link at the end of the video, but they are great to have so you can stream from your phone to your TV.
Because not all of us have smart TVs.
No, exactly. If you don't have a smart TV, I just recently went to one of our older members' house recently to set up a Chromecast for them just before online church started, and he's well in his 80s now, nearly 90, and he's able to operate it every Sunday and watch it from his lounge. So
it's so much better than just sitting there either with the iPad or particularly the phone.
Yeah, exactly. And it just helps a lot. So then you can put it in there and watch it on the comfort of your couch.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Well, I've got one more, and again, it's not a faith-based one, but you'll see in a minute why this one's very helpful, but it's called IMDB. That's the Internet Movie Database. I live by this app.
Oh, I use it all the time.
Life is too short to watch a bad movie. Yeah. So I don't watch movies that are below 7 unless it's a so bad it's good sort of movie you have to watch. So they've got to have 7 or higher. And you still, I reckon 8's are the really good movies on there. But you just see what movies are rated. The main reason I wanted to share it for this one, particularly if you do have young children or you're not sure if this movie's appropriate. Ratings are hard to gauge nowadays because the stuff that they get away with in PG and M is a bit crazy. So this one has a thing called a parent's guide. So if you scroll down on IMDb, I'll put a little screen capture on the video. But if you scroll down to the parent's guide, it's then got a list of all these different things. It's got profanity. It's got if there's any sex or nude scenes. It's got violence and what level of violence it's got. And it tells you where all of the scenes are. And we've wanted to show some videos at Youth Group before when we do a movie night. And I go straight to IMDb and go, yep, we're not doing that one. Yep, we're not doing that one. Or, oh, that one sounds great. So it helps you know what a good movie is, but it also helps you know what's worth watching for your family. So that's the IMDb movie app.
Yeah, brilliant. You don't want to get halfway through a movie and find out the kids have already been exposed to loads of swearing or nudity. And
exactly. So you can't be too careful nowadays. Yeah. So we got one more question of the week this week.
All right.
And if you watched our Sunday stream, you would have noticed the highlight of the whole service for a lot of people, apart from the sermon and the interview, of course, but the real uplifting moment that everybody just had everybody in hysterics was cooking with Tonks.
Hey.
And somebody asked me,
do you know that I put an offer out that I could make and deliver homemade chocolate cakes? Ooh. How many people do you reckon took me up on that offer? None.
That's crazy. Was Josh? I heard Josh was in bed sick all weekend, food poisoning after he tried that. No, that's not true. But I've got it here, and it says, we love cooking with Tonks. We thought it was hilarious. But are you really that bad of a cook?
Well, obviously that was done for fun for the kids. But the fact is I really love cooking. And I do a lot of cooking. I probably do most of the cooking at home because I just really, really enjoy it. I love making curry. Really like a good curry. I like it if I can make the curry really, really hot. But unfortunately, we've got a couple of other people in the family that are a bit sookier about how hot curries get. Soft. So they've got to be a bit more on the mild side. But I love doing that. I love making homemade sausage rolls, egg and bacon pies, that kind of thing. But you know what I've got into recently, and I know you like my yo-yos.
I love yo-yos.
I'll make a master yo-yo. Yeah. But I've been getting right into making cookies.
Oh, nice.
So the last couple of weeks, I've made raspberry white choc cookies. I've made cornflake cookies.
Oh, they're good.
And peanut butter choc chip cookies.
That's my kind of cookie.
So they've been pretty awesome.
Might need some peanut butter choc chip cookies for the pastors' chats in the future. They could go right have them on the table.
Maybe we will.
Everyone knows. That'd be great. Yeah.
Good idea. But
there you go.
You know, you love cooking, don't you?
I do like cooking as well. Yeah, it's good fun. It's just best thing about cooking is you always get to eat what you want as well. That's what I like. And then you get to try things that you want to try. So probably makes it sound a bit selfish to cook.
I've made some disasters though.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure when you got to cook for someone else. Like when you have people around, I find that nerve-wracking.
There's been a couple of times family nights I've made up this beautiful dish and I thought, right, everyone's going to love this. Everyone sits down to it and sort of first couple of mouths are like, this isn't real good.
If it's your family, they're probably not nice enough to say.
Oh, no. No one's polite enough to go, it's okay. I'll go, this tastes like rubbish.
Yep, I bet. No, good stuff. So you can know Cooking with Tonks because he does cook at Adventure Club a lot, and they love his cooking at Adventure Club. So it's not as bad as you saw in Cooking with Tonks. So it'll be another exciting segment we see soon of.
Absolutely. So if you've got any more questions, please continue to send them in. We'd love to look at various questions, whether it be something simple like that or something deeper into the Bible, character of God, whatever
Anything,
it might
really.
be.
Anything.
We would love to have your questions, so please pass them on to either Josh or myself.
That's right, or even comment below on the YouTube comments.
Yep.
But it's been great having you here this week. If you've got an app that you love to use, please chuck it in the comments. We want to interact and hear what it is you're enjoying.
Yeah, things that encourage others, equip others.
That's it. Thanks for joining us for another Pastor's Chat with Coley and Tonks.
Yeah, and we'll see you again next week. God bless you.
Maybe we could cut a hole in your knees and get them to
No
be some
way,
expensive jeans.
I like
Could be
my
worth
jeans
more
the way
then.
they are.
Roll them up.
No.